So we're in San Diego at OFC 2018. I'm here with Craig from Viavi. Craig, good to see you.
Good to see you, Ray. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so we're going to talk about a couple of things that are kind of trends at the show, and then maybe talk about some bigger industry trends. But we're coming into an era where it looks like there's going to be a lot more activity in the fiber access networks and new technologies coming in. And fiber certification is an important role for something important for technicians.
Yes.
As technologies like XGS-PON and NG-PON2 come into play, what are the challenges facing technicians and how can you help?
Well, first of all, I think one of the most important things is it's our job as test and measurement company to make technicians work smarter, not harder.
Right.
And so to do that, we have to put intelligence into our devices so that it makes their job easier on the front end for them to get work, put it down into a piece of test equipment, and then run through a workflow that removes a lot of the complexity and simplifies the test process. We do that with, for instance, in our OTDR technology by automating workflow, by also making the products intelligent so that they can detect whether it's NG-PON2 or XGS-PON without the technician having to know exactly every little detail about what he's doing.
Okay.
It simplifies that job. And then he can also take the information, if it's a contractor or if it's a technician who works for one of our customers directly, take all of the test data and be able to put that up into the cloud. And that provides a high value to the end customer for getting that job done, seeing that it was certified, done properly.
So also out there in the industry, there might be in the near future an increasing number of technicians who may be using some test tools for the first time, maybe an OTDR, maybe not understanding the results or not familiar with that particular tool. What can Viavi do to help those people sort of ease into that kind of role?
It's a great point. If you really look historically at a lot of the fiber optic tests, there's a little bit of a mystery and mystique. It can be somewhat complex or complicated, and so what we've done over a long period of time is really try to make the results that they're getting out of that easier to interpret. And so historically they used to look at an OTDR trace, for instance, and they have to have a bit of knowledge about the network, understand how to read that trace. Today we use a series of icons that represent that trace to show red light, green light at every different connection, or even to show that there's a fault or a break in the network. And so that simplifies reading that trace, knowing how to do your job, and it makes the job a lot easier for the technician. It makes it more user-friendly.
Okay, excellent. So we've mentioned the access network, and it looks like there's going to be an uptick in fiber access. And that's actually looks like it's going to play a very important role in 5G. Obviously 5G is quite a lot of chat here at OFC about the impact 5G will have.
Right.
How do you see that playing out? What will 5G mean for the optical network all the way to the edge, and how is Viavi adapting to that?
I think when a lot of people hear 5G, they think it's just the next thing after 4G, and it's really not. And especially when you look at all wireless technologies and wireless networks, the one common thing they have, they're not all wireless actually. They're supported by a physical network. And so what we really see with 5G, with millimeter wave and all these different types of things coming into the picture, is there's going to be a lot more endpoints in the network. And in many cases, it's going to take a huge expansion of the network to deliver what it's going to take, or even building a brand new network to deliver 5G. And so to do that, you're going to run into the same things that we probably have run into for a long time, where you have a lot of new technicians out there building this network, and you want it to be future-proof. You want it to work from the get-go. And if you don't use test and the right test procedures, then you're really taking a high risk with all of your network assets and the build and all the expenses you put into that, because now it may not be delivering, and eventually it is going to be a primarily fiber network with a wireless tail. And so we really see the future's bright. You can feel it kind of in the air at the show here, that there's more willingness to spend, and people are getting pretty excited about what's happening. So, for us, that's just another opportunity to help show customers the way to build out this new network, work with them on different use cases they have, challenges that they have, but most importantly, get it right the first time so they don't have to manage their network through a series of troubleshooting instances. So.
Okay, excellent. So you mentioned there that there's a sense of excitement, maybe a new wave of growth coming in this industry. 5G is driving some of it, but there are other drivers in the market as well. And how do you see this all playing out in the next couple of years? Is there going to be an across-the-board uptick in the whole optical ecosystem?
Yeah, I mean, we're certainly seeing a new level of investment coming in, people excited about the optical side of the network. And I think the nice thing is, even something like we were originally talking about FTTH, that started, 15 years ago, and that wave is still going. And so the nice thing is I think it is a wave, and I think it's going to be a nice sustained wave for the foreseeable future. And it'll have its spikes and things like that, but that's the excitement that I'm feeling from everybody is, okay, there's going to be more need for more optical technologies, new ways of using optical technologies for different applications. We're seeing that with PON going in more places than certainly it ever was intended. And so, yeah, it's really good stuff. We're excited about it.
Okay, excellent. So we should make a date to chat again at OFC 2019 and see how things are playing out. Thanks a lot.
How far we've come.
Yeah, thanks a lot for talking to us today.
Great. Thanks a lot, Ray.